Michael's Railway. In today's video I'm going to show you how I achieve my hill mounds using static grass and bark. You have to bear with my video editing skills because they lack very much. It is literally clips fired together. That's what I can achieve at this moment in time till I get a laptop sorted, and I think you get the gist of the idea from the video. Here I am making some hills and landscape for the factory area. Basically all I use is 50mm polystyrene board and a hacksaw blade, and pretty much just hack away at it until I achieve something that I think looks healed. So the hill's dry and I've static grassed the hill, and what I tend to do is leave it mobile. So as for me, because I'm adapting an area, I have a road and everything else, I'd find that everything would be covered in static grass. I'm probably not the cleanest worker, so as for me, I like to keep my hills sort of mobile so I can lift them off, then do static grass, whatever, and then I can drop it back on, and it tends to keep everything a little bit cleaner for me. Not to say that that doesn't work for everyone. So what I tend to do is PVA the base of the area I'm going to use, and I go over with blended turf by Woodland Scenic, just to sort of give me a base layer. So I just sprinkle it on. I've only PVA'd the area of so like outside of the mound. There's probably lots of other ways of doing this, but this is the way that I tend to do it. This is literally just to get rid of the woody colour of the board. Some people use earthy colours to give it that more realistic sort of depth, but this is the way that I do it, because it can just be all hoovered up at the end, whatever I don't need. Right, now that that's down, what I tend to do is apply some World Scenic's static grass layering spray. And give it a ample coat. And then the grass that I will be using is just a Hornby Scenic scatter grass. And one thing I have found whilst doing static grass is the static grass is as good as your applicator. So I've tried this many times before, and literally the results have been horrendous, but as I found out, it's not me or the grass, it is actually the applicator itself. So when you say a bad craftsman blames his tools, it's actually the case, as I've found, because since I've changed the applicator, the methods stay the same, but the results have changed dramatically. I'm just using the Pico Scene static grass applicator. And just apply it. But if you don't currently do static grass, I do highly recommend it. It does seem to just transform anything, and you can literally hide a multitude of sin behind it or underneath it. But it doesn't tend to go very far. That's one thing I have found. With the static layering spray, more is what you need. Just be very generous with it, because it dries clear, but it definitely helps with the application. And what I tend to do is mix up the colours and the lengths. So I start with the shorter length first, and then slowly build the layers up, lengths and colours. So now that I've got a pretty decent coat already, what I will then do is put my mounds back in place. And then I tend to work it back in to the area, so it literally doesn't look like I just plonked it there. So you can start adding some more bark and just try to build it up, make it look natural. And then with some of the stuff, you can change the length and colour, just because you look at the green fields and they don't tend to be pure green unless you're looking at a bowling green. So around the edges and, you know, hard to reach places where nature would literally take over is where I tend to apply longer sort of dead grass, sort of 6mm length. Try to make it look overgrown and, you know, like nature's claimed it back. A little bit not stuck. But as you can see, hopefully, you'll start to see how quick an area can develop into something that almost looks like nature intended it to look that way, not the fact that a guy in his shed modelled it that way. So if I come away now, polystyrene mound is almost blending in. By the time I've put some shrubbery around the edge, a bit of some taller grass, hopefully, fingers crossed, it should all blend in and look pretty decent. So that's how I do my static grass and my mounds. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned something from that, or maybe thought, holy hell, let's not do it the way he does. So hopefully it's been educational for the right reasons or educational for the wrong reasons. Either way, I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. Cheers.